What is up, YouTube? We're gonna get the cover pulled off the old Oklahoma Joe. This is my Oklahoma Joe Highland. But before we do that, we're gonna go over a couple basic things when it comes to the offset cooking. I do want to be informative and help those out who are trying to get into the game or throw out some tips and stuff that might help improve your game, and most importantly, take away or give you more confidence to enjoy the game. And we'll be back. Alright, you could conceivably take what comes with the cooker and make your own diffuser, so you can get somewhat of some even cooking, even temperature throughout your cook space. Now it does come with the grates, so you can put charcoal on top of them and you can use it for direct cooking. And it also comes with grates that you can put in your firebox to use your firebox as a direct cooking grill, that you can sear steaks and burgers. But you could take one of the grates for searing in the firebox. Once you get it in there, we want this one tilted up. Slide the next one next to it, and then take your charcoal grate, hook it on there so it doesn't slide off. And then this last one, you can use it as a tuning plate where you can adjust it. Now you want to wrap these in foil just as I did this one. This is for the people who don't have it but want to do a long cook, such as a brisket, pork butt, or even ribs. Because ribs, depending on your temperature, you're talking 4 to 6 hours. It depends on the temperature you're cooking at. But this is typically how you can set up your Oklahoma Joe with what comes with the cooker. Now, the things that I have that does not come with the cooker, I have a charcoal basket that was purchased aftermarket. This is my diffuser. Once I get it in, you'll see how that looks. And you can see how it has this deal. It goes up over the hole in the firebox. I'm gonna get mine put together because I am gonna fire up a brisket, and we're gonna go from A to Z on cooking a brisket in the Oklahoma Joe. I did replace some of my gasket material where it was getting bad and it was just pretty much non-existent, so did replace that so we can seal up this cook chamber a little bit better. And then Alright, a couple of things I'm going to cover, man. We're going to talk about fuel. There's several ways you can fuel this beast. You can use charcoal, you can use wood, or a combination of both charcoal and wood. I'm going to show you my favorite way of doing it, and I'm going to show you some other options that may become your favorite way of doing it. And we'll be back. Alright, setting up your Joe to cook, setting up your fire. There's several ways you could do this. You could just use, for those who don't have basket, you could just set a couple logs, get a few coals lit, and I'll show you what I'm talking about here. Alright, drop your charcoal right in between and get a stick going across like that. Let it get to burning, get her closed up after it starts burning, and then making adjustments with this so you can get it to the temperature that you want. Always start with your vents open. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to use my basket. I'm going to start a chimney full of charcoal so I can have a bed, and then we're going to burn sticks. Now another way you can do it if you don't want to do the stick method is you can use the minion method. Minion method, pretty much put simply, is you could fill the basket up with charcoal, use a few coals to get it started. Same thing, vents open. Once you reach the temperature that you want to cook at, start closing your vents off to maintain temperature. You can do it that way, or you can use some minion dividers. Pretty much, you can fill each of the chambers up with charcoal, and it would, you know, slowly make an S. In theory, you could maintain your temperature same way as if you fill the basket up. I've done it all kind of ways, but I prefer the stick method personally. Oh, another thing, if you ever lose your bucket, buy you one of these Pit Boss buckets, hang it on there, and you can even go a step further, buy the liners, so you ain't gotta have a greasy mess like that. But it's all part of barbecuing. Don't bother me none. So we'll get a fire going, and we're gonna get that brisket in there and get it ready to go. I'll be back. All right, YouTube, let me explain. One reason why I like using my basket is because I can position it to where I can make the holes a little bit smaller coming out of there, therefore I'm not losing big chunks of ambers out of my my base, and I can keep a nice base going. So that's one of the main reasons why, and I can keep everything together. And I can stoke the fire, shake out the ash, and still keep my embers going without losing them through the grates, and they end up on the bottom, and it just makes it a lot more convenient to maintain steady heat. That's one of the reasons why I use the basket. All right, our charcoal's ready. We're gonna get it poured into the basket. We're gonna get our first stick in there, and by that time I'll have the inside put back together and have this baby ready for cooking. There we go. Get our base going. Look at those embers. Nice base going. Get our stick. Let that bad boy catch. Then we'll get this side ready to go for cooking. We'll be back. All right, YouTube, give me a look at what my diffuser looks like. You can see it has smaller holes, and they get bigger as you get near the stack. That's to help control and help you maintain even cooking across your whole cook chamber. The reason why they Oklahoma Joe's give you another port for a thermometer. Now they give you one thermometer, but it's on you to get another one put on there. And this particular cooker, I've had it for a couple years, but this is my third offset. I've had the one by Brinkman, and I had the one by New Braunfels. It was an outfit out of Texas. And this one I purchased off of Facebook Marketplace. And the person I bought it from had already replaced it or updated the thermometers, and already had this in there too. This is a $100 item. You could buy it at barbecue grill parts. I know that's available there because I almost pulled the trigger and bought it, but when I came across this one on Facebook Marketplace, I went ahead and bought it because it was already set up, and it came with the cover as well, which is also another 65 bucks. So depending on where you buy it, you can probably get it cheaper, but this was already set up, ready to go. It's just convenient that it came with everything I needed, and what I paid for this on Facebook Marketplace is what you would pay for a brand new one out the door, 199 bucks. Pay 200 bucks for the whole ball of wax. He took, the previous owner took and sealed up the firebox. You can see the gasket material pretty much disappeared, but as far as that rust, not worried about it. I'm going to show you how to turn it black again once we get going. I have used this during the cold months. And some of the stuff I did today wasn't feasible to do in the cold months. Adhesive doesn't work well in the cold because you got moisture and all that nonsense. So today was a good day. It was dry. I went ahead and replaced some of the gasket material that was just bad. And same thing with the firebox. I took and replaced the stuff on the box, and I also put a strip on the lid because I could see where it wasn't quite sealing very well. So this material here is not lava lock, and it's not as thick as lava lock. This is lava lock, and you can see on the lid where smoke was escaping. One of the reasons why is this little lip that this gasket material is on. It had dips in it, and I took a hammer, straightened it out, replaced the gasket material, and we'll see how well it holds. Now, real talk, I would have put the gasket material on the lid as well. I think I might do. The only problem is there's a lot of grease, and I don't like using solvents and chemicals on my cookers. And I figure, you know, I'll just let it go. It's only a little smoke, it ain't gonna hurt nothing. Yeah, we'll see how that seals up. See the gasket material hanging out there. We can see, might be a little gap right there and right there. But you can see where it was painted before. Not worried about that. I'm gonna show you what you can do to help remedy that without breaking out a can of paint. And we'll be back. That's almost ready to go. We're gonna get the grill grates in, get it closed up, let it start heating up, and we'll get that brisket in there. Be back. YouTube, you can see I added another stick, because that bottom one is gonna be breaking down here real soon, and we want to get our cooker up to temp. We're gonna cruise about 250, between 250 275, and we're gonna let this one look like it's burning pretty good. So we'll go ahead and get it closed up so we can get some heat going. Right. Watch our needles. We're gonna come up. We ain't gonna literally sit here and watch them, but we're gonna start getting some heat in the cook chamber here. We're about 72 degrees outside where I'm at now. And like I said, we're gonna cruise about 250, 275. That's gonna put us right here. 250, 275 is the next one. So we're gonna try to stay in between that. And we'll be back. Brought you out to the garage just to show you. I do use a variety of different cooking fuels. Depends on what I'm cooking and what I'm cooking on. So you can see, and I'll do a video just on fuel, but this I found at a Walmart in my city. Never seen them before. These are Expert Grill Mini Logs, Hickory. These are Oklahoma Joe logs, which I use in my offset. In regards to the wood that I'm using the Western Premium Barbecue Products Hickory. And it says many logs, but it claims that it's hickory. Now, let me tell you now, you might be blessed with some other stuff. That is not hickory. That, my friends, is a piece of walnut. This is oak. We got maple. This is also some maple and hickory mixed here. And this, my friends, is a mix of walnut, cherry, and a bit of hickory. Yeah, my friends, it's just like with the lump charcoal that you purchase. Yeah, I got my drum fired up. Temp's coming up. Just with the lump charcoal, sometimes you might smell some cherry burning, you might smell some pecan, you know, it's awesome, some of the mix of woods that you might get in there. And it may say hickory. I'm gonna tell you now, you might be blessed with some other stuff, and walnut does smell good. It did seal up. Awesome. Did seal up. I know over time that's going to compress down. I see a little bit escaping that right there. Not too concerned about that, but you can see that bottom gasket needs to be replaced. I ran out of material to do that. I would have done that today, so I'm glad I didn't get too happy pulling stuff. I really would have had a mess on my hands. But we're gonna get that brisket in there and we'll be back. All right, you can see we have approached our target temp. Got our vent wide open. We're gonna be closing that baby down. But before I do that, I'm gonna open this up, get the meat put in, then close it. Then once the cooker recovers, then I'll make my adjustments. And we'll be back. All right, YouTube, we got our meat in the cooker. Yes, you can see these are the probes from the temperature gauges or the thermometers, and I placed it right in between them. I'll put the thickest part of the meat closest to the heat, because this side's going to be a little bit hotter than this side, even with the diffuser. And you'll see. We'll get it closed up, let it recover, then we'll make our adjustments. We'll be back. All right, YouTube, regards to the peel and paint and the rust, here's how you handle that. Just going to take Canada's aerosol canola. Should have done this before it got hot, but pretty much going to season the outside. That's all we're doing here. And I'll stay on top of it. That bad boy would be black. You can see we got our dampener closed down. On this end, we're about just over 275 and almost 300 on this end. So we're gonna let her settle down and see where it goes from there. Other than that, that is it, and we'll be back. All right, YouTube, we are at the 45-minute mark. Just added another stick, and she looked like she caught pretty good. A little black on the bottom. And we're gonna get that closed up. We're gonna let her recover. This is where it was when I added the stick, so we're gonna see where she recovers to from that. And we're gonna get this bad boy open, give it a spritz. Yes, indeed, looking good. Look at that. And folks, this is just a simple 50-50 white vinegar and water. You can use the solution of your choice. Apple juice, cider vinegar. Beer works pretty good mixed with vinegar. With cider vinegar, yeah, that works awesome as well. Just whatever you put in your mix, make sure it's going to be something that will not clog up your siphon for your sprayer. You know, so don't, you know, if you're going to put herbs and stuff in there, just make sure it won't clog it up. Yeah, we got a good spritz on there. Get it closed back up, let it recover, and we'll be back. All right, YouTube, we're back. Hour number 2, and look at where we're cruising at. Told you one end's gonna be hotter than the other, but we are in the ballpark. We at 250, See where we got the dampers set at, and we're ready to add another split. Oh, check out the firebox. See how that canola blackened it up? No need for paint. Yeah, we're due for another spritz. Let's stoke our fire. Not a spritz, we're another stick. Spritz on the mind. We will be spritzing here after we add the stick. Yeah, get that opened up. We'll add our stick. Tool back up. All right. Let that bad boy catch. And while it's doing that, we'll go ahead and get our spritz. Look at that, baby, beauty. Hour number 2, looking right. Right. Beautiful. Just beautiful. Yeah, the purpose of the spritz is to help keep the meat moist during the cooking process. What's during the cooking process is pushing moisture out. So we're going to help keep some of the moisture by spritzing it. It's another way of doing a mop sauce. We're just not using a mop, we're just spraying it on there. Get that closed up. Let our stick catch. We'll close it up and let it resume. This is just awesome. It's that easy, folks. And we'll be back. All right, YouTube, we're at the point where we're getting ready to wrap our brisket. You see here, I got 3 pieces of foil. So off camera, I'm gonna get this baby wrapped up in the foil and get it back in the cooker, and then we're gonna bump the heat up. You can see this is where she's resting at now. About 250 on that end, about 275. So we're gonna crank it up to about 325. All we're gonna do is just add a split. And open that baby all the way up. Because after it's wrapped, we're just trying to get it over the stall and get her done. We'll be back. All right, YouTube, give you a peek here. We just added a split. We got a probe in the meat. We're talking about the probe, AKA thermometer, or should I say that the other way? Thermometer, AKA the probe. Man, I'm using the Expert Grill wireless thermometer. This allows you to set your temperature, and once it reaches that desired temp, it will give an audible alarm. You can see that's the port where the lead plugs in. This detaches, this stays with the cooker. It's magnetic, so you can stick it to your grill or your cooker. This, I say, has awesome range. You could set this bad boy. It has a nice little stand. So if you in the kitchen, set on the countertop, has a nice stand. Does well, and it's also cool that whether you're in the kitchen or like me watching a ball game, you got that bad boy right with you. So when it goes off, it minimizes the trips back and forth to the cooker to check temp. Because back in the day, before digital, you had this and you sticking. So I highly recommend one of these. I don't get anything out of it, but for the conservative people, 20 bucks, Walmart. Comes with 2 probes. in case one mess up, and it will mess up because I've had to replace them several times. I've had this one for a couple years, several years, so I need to probably upgrade to something else. But there's some cool stuff out there. You got the stuff that's not only Bluetooth, you got Wi-Fi. It connects directly to your Wi-Fi, so it gives you some really good range. You could be at the grocery store checking the temps, just like on one of your if you have a pellet cooker or one of the gravity feed cookers. You know, it's wireless and it works with Wi-Fi. This doesn't, but it does get the job done. Allows you to, once the temp, like I said, the timer goes off, or it gives off alarm once you reach the temp, pull your meat, let it rest, and after it rested, check out and see how well you did. Matter of fact, let's see how we did. Looks like we got a winner here. Look at that smoke ring. Check out the bark. Oh my God, look at the juices oozing. This thing smells awesome. I can't wait to take a bite. It's that easy, folks. You don't need all that extra to do something simple as cook barbecue. Well, that's going to do it for us on this episode of Brisket in the Joe. We want to wish you much success on your next cook. And hey, let's keep them pits burning.